Hey everyone, I hope you are doing fantastic. I've been meaning to do one of these recent favorites videos for a while now. I've collected quite a few things that I love. I've narrowed it down to just an essential list of the things I have just been like over the moon about over the past few months or so. And they include a couple of home items. So I'll start off with the makeup items. I actually don't have this palette on my eyes today. I'm wearing this Dior Backstage palette in Nude Essentials, which I didn't think I would buy these palettes. I ended up purchasing this, and I think the cool one or the smoky one or whatever, the one that has like the pinky purpley tones, and I'm enjoying them. I think they are nice quality palettes, although I don't love the packaging, but great for travel. But this isn't one of the items that I wanted to feature, even though I think it is really good. I wanted to feature, I've done a video on this. I done did a video on it. The new Natasha Denona tan palette. So I'm trying to like break my Natasha Denona addiction. Because I absolutely love her palettes. I have purchased just about every one that has been released. I didn't pick up the purple one, whatever that's called, and then maybe like one more that I passed on. Oh, and I passed on her face palettes. If you remember, she released a couple that had like the 5 eyeshadows and like a cheek product or two, and maybe something else. I didn't care for those. I'm trying to stay away from face palettes because I realized that I don't use them the way I think I would. But this palette here, first of all, in the video where I talked about this, I mentioned that I can't get out of my head that Alicia Turner, when she did a video on this, she said that it looks like the 1980s to her, and she called it the John Cicada palette. So yes, I'm calling this the John Cicada palette too. And if you don't know who he is a an artist, a musical artist from the late 80s into early 90s, maybe. Look at this gorgeous color story here. This is just such a beautiful everyday color story that's so easy to use. And I think that it does well across a number of skin tones, skin depths. I am not sure if this works for like the very lightest people on the spectrum. Like if your skin is like a porcelain color, for example, I'm not sure. Let me know if you are on the super light end of skin tones, if you have tried this and if you found that it works for you. Likewise, I don't know how this shows up on the deepest, darkest, like chocolatey skin tones as well. Like if you have like a dark chocolate skin color, I'm not sure if this works or not, mostly because I'm imagining that at least some of these colors might fade out a little bit or just not show up as well either direction. So let me know if you are on either end of the skin tone spectrum, if this has worked out for you. My guess is that if you're in the middle, so not the most porcelain skin, but maybe have a little skin tint, if you will, and if you are in the chocolate range and everything in between, that you have probably found that this palette has some good use for you. And I really like that the mattes are not so close in tone to each other. Sometimes when you get a palette of this size, what I find is that some colors are so close to each other that it like renders the difference of those colors useless in terms of the palette, and you find yourself wishing that you had something even lighter or even darker in tone. I appreciate that each of these has its own unique depth. So even though on camera these two, for example, look very close, when you wear them in person, let me see if I can, this looks really weird. If I could swatch these for you, they have different undertones. So, like this one is a little bit more neutral mid-tone, and this one is warmer and a little bit lighter, even though in pan it looks darker than this one. So that's an interesting thing. And these two here appear similar, but they have the same kind of thing going on where they're unique in their own way. And the shimmers in here have different kind of textures as well. These two and that one are sort of similar in chunkiness. These two are maybe a little bit finer in terms of the chunky factor. And then this gold one here in the middle is sort of in its own category and has a lot of reflect, just like it does in the pan. I appreciate that this palette has a lot of variety in it, even though when you first open it, it all looks like they're all in the same range. They play all different roles on the eyes. And I like it as an everyday, easy reach palette. Did I need this? Absolutely freaking not. I have a lot of palettes that are in this same family. Maybe they don't have the range that this palette does here all in one, and that's the advantage of this palette. And it's also the Natasha Denona formula, which to me is like, honestly, I was going to say second to none, but it's in like the top three. I love Sydney Grace. I love this formula. I love the Viseart formula. I love several other formulas, but those are like top notch. This is a top notch formula. So while you may be able to like replicate the colors and tones from other palettes, only her formula gives you the sort of buttery, depth, pigmentation on first swatch, and long-lasting nature. It's a unique formula that way. I love this palette. So beautiful, and I have a feeling it's gonna make my top palettes of the year. Natasha Denona Tan. Fantastic. Other makeup I'd like to feature, I did not pick up the entire Marc Jacobs makeup collection. I thought they were all cute. They're designed to look like helium balloons, I believe. I may pick up one of the little single shadows. Every time I see someone swatch them in a video, I fall in love with the color, the texture, the shininess of it all. I'm like, "Ooh, I want the shiny new penny," but I haven't picked up any yet. The lipsticks look really good as well. I think the packaging is super cute, but it's bulky, and I have enough bulky lipsticks, like my Westman Atelier lipsticks, that are just hard to store, and I have a lot of they're loose. Loose lipsticks, roaming the lipstick drawer and not wanting to fall in line with its other friends, their other friends, because the slots are too small in the containers that I have. So I don't want to invite anything else like that into the collection. I'm trying to think what else. There were cheek products as well, I think. Packaging was cute again, but I'm trying to stick to powder blushes more than liquid blushes or cream blushes because I prefer them. But friends, the bronzer got me. Okay, like look how adorable this packaging is. To me, it looks like a little pillow. I realize it's supposed to be that helium balloon kind of look. And it is super cute the way that it's crimped around the edges. I love this little floral application here. It's so darn cute. This is what I have on my face today. I do have a gripe for today that I do want to I want to mention, but I got it in the color 30 medium. So here is what it looks like. You can see I've been loving on this. It has a very sort of creamy formulation. There it is in the middle. And it goes on kind of silky smooth. It has a very warm texture to it, tone, excuse me, a warm tone to it, and it's easy to apply. I have a warning, and that is when you use a brush, I would say use something that's maybe a little bit more densely packed as a brush for this. Let me give you an example. I might suggest going in with something like the Niji Pro from Sonia G or something like this, where it doesn't matter whether it's this brand or something else, but where the bristles are densely packed because it'll be easier to pick this up. This has a bit of a density, this powder to it. It is not light and fluffy. It doesn't have like kick up. And therefore, you kind of have to put your brush in the pan and really mean it to get good pigment out of there. And I would say the same with your face. Like go ahead and press in. You'll get your own hang of it as you're applying versus taking like a wispy approach. Even though it looks a little wispy on hand, you definitely need to mean to apply it is all I'm saying. It's not that it's difficult to apply versus perhaps a more spread out fiber brush like this one. Okay. So I like this color. I think it's great. I like the way it looks. My one gripe is for some reason, I had such a hard time getting it up to the hairline today. I don't know if that's unique to today. I don't remember having that problem, but it's showing up on camera. I really dislike that. I dislike when it looks like you have a gap between your bronzer on your forehead and your scalp. It just looks goofy. Okay. But anyway, that aside, today aside, because I'm hoping today is just an anomaly. I've been wearing this all week and haven't had this issue. I do like the sort of subtle nature of this bronzer on your face. It's not overt. Like there are some bronzers, you put them on and you're like, ooh, she's wearing a lot of bronzer. This feels like it just sinks right into the skin and it's almost like you just got a little extra sun, so to speak. So anyway, packaging is adorable. Price was decent. I think it was in the $30 to $40 range, somewhere in there for this. And I just think it's precious. I want to also highlight a new face powder that I picked up in the recent Ulta sale. This is the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder. I got mine in the color 30. And you can see the way that it's sort of swishing around in there, that it's very finely milled. It's what I'm wearing today. I love that this gives your skin this airbrushed finish without feeling or looking like you have a whole lot of powder on. When you first apply it, if you over apply it, you will look a little powdery. Like you can tell the powder's on. But if you use a light wispy touch and kind of do a swirling motion on your face, it's great. Now, I told you all that before that I usually spread my powder on my microfiber cloth and then dip my brush into that and use the cloth to like tap out and all of that. This is one where the top is wide enough that you can sprinkle right onto there and swirl around in here. Okay. So I find this powder to be everything that people claim that it is. It's one that I resisted getting for a long time because I wondered if the hype around it was more about it being Chanel okay, name brand recognition, than about it being a good powder. And I can say that it is a great powder. I've worn this all week as well. I like that you can still see some luminosity from under my skin without it allowing my face to get all super glowy for a long time because I get really oily during the day. And it doesn't help that I put on like 9,000 layers of moisturizer in the morning. I end up getting oilier faster than a lot of people because of that. I mean, I'm naturally oily, but the routine doesn't help. But I just love the way it gives this sort of airbrushed effect, because I'm actually about 98 years old, but you can't tell because this powder gives me a nice airbrush finish. Just kidding, I'm 51. But I really like this powder. I think it's great. I've been enjoying a lot of powders. The new Natasha Denona powder, the Patrick One Star, the Mario Makeup by Mario. I think it's called the Surreal Skin whatever perfecting powder. The Givenchy 4 different colors. Loose. I mean, there's so many powders that I love. The Huda Easy Bake. This is up there among the best as well. I mentioned like in a Sephora haul video that I fell in love with this Sarah Creal product and it's the highlighters. That's not the name of it. Oh, it's called Today's Highlights, the product. And I have two colors. The names are strange. I have Style Selection and This Just In. Style Selection looks like that. It looks like it has a little bit of a bronzy rosy undertone to it. It doesn't translate that way on the skin to me, really. It just looks like nice natural shine. And then This Just In has a little bit, this is the This Just In. It has a little bit of a more champagne look to it. I love both of these. Of course, I'm a bad content creator and don't have either one of these on today. And I'm not going to put it on over the powder because this is one that I would suggest after you put your foundation on and before you do any powder or any blush that you take this and put it on the high areas of your cheek, maybe on the bridge of your nose, right under your eyebrow arches. You can even put this on your eyes like as an inner corner highlight. It's very subtle. Let me do it on skin here to kind of give you a sense of what this looks like. So this just in. I just use my fingers. It's so buttery. See how it just adds, like, this naturally wet look? It's right here in case you just looked up at the screen. Naturally wet look, and then you see the rest of the skin looks a little bit more mattified. It's not overdone. I mean, you can build it up if you wanna get a little bit of a more dramatic look, but it's a nice, subtle, wet skin highlight, which I love. It just looks like you're glowing and you're your best self without somebody looking at you and saying, "Oh my gosh, she's got highlighter on." Let me do the other color called Style Selection. So you can see the difference in tonality of those. It's very subtle. That one has like a slightly more pinky reflect, just ever so slightly. I wouldn't even call it pinky. I would call it more like a rosé. Whereas the first one, this just in, is a tad bit more champagne gold. They're so subtly different. It's kind of hard to tell. And you can make do with one or the other. You really don't need both because they're so versatile. Nice little packaging, very cute, sort of retro look to them. Really nice product. Really nice product. I really enjoy that. Two eyebrow products I wanted to mention. I've raved about this before and I'll rave about it again because I have a hard time now going to my other eyebrow products. This one I do have on. I was a good content creator with this one. It is the Anastasia Archibrow pencil. This is a funny one because it has gotten so much critique because of I'll show you because of the way that the component works. First of all, you have to grab it by the top and the bottom and twist. So don't make the mistake I made and you're doing all this craziness in the middle or trying to pop the top off. It doesn't have a top on it. You just twist it to pop it up and it looks like that. So what it is a little pencil that you use in a vertical fashion. I mean, I suppose you could use it sideways, but it never occurred to me to do it that way. It is very thin. You use the center of the component to kind of twist and allow the product to come up just a little bit. I would not put it up any more than what you see there on the screen. And then you just do these little fine hair strokes as you need them. What I love about it is it needs no sharpening. It never fails to produce just the right thickness of hair-like stroke that I need to give the appearance that I have hair right here especially. That's my most sparse part of my eyebrow. I tend to have pretty decently thick eyebrow right here, and then I put a little tail on the end. My eyebrow actually ends maybe like a quarter inch or something a little bit further up, maybe not that much, but it allows me to put a little tail on the end that's fine points in nature. This one that I'm wearing today is in the color medium brown. I also have it in chocolate and there are other colors. So I feel bad for people for whom this has not worked out because I feel like they're missing out or they pumped it up a little too much and the little pencil broke off or whatever. They just weren't using it appropriately. I have used a lot of thin pencils out on the market. I love the Huda one, but it's so fine point. That one really did break off on me, although I like the effect that it had. I still use the Benefit Precisely My Brow. That's like a staple. I still use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Those are staples. But this beats those in terms of the precision that I get, the natural look. I don't hesitate to wear this to work events. I hesitate to wear the other ones because up close, when you're talking to me, you could see that I have like a pencil, that I use a pencil in my eyebrows. This one, I feel like it's harder to detect. Like you have to be really close up on my face to see that this is a pencil that I used for my eyebrows. So this is a hero product. I love this and plan to repurchase both colors when I run out of them. Fantastic. Love it. I also purchased, and this is on recommendation from Tammy Roxanne. Hey girl, hey. She had been talking about the Glossier Boy Brow for a long time. And I was reluctant to try it because I have been loyal to, where are you? This one, the Kosas Air Brow, which I still love quite a lot. These are different. They're the same, but they're different. Same, but different, different. They both have little wands. So here's the Kosas Air Brow one, a little bit longer than the Glossier Boy Brow. This is in the color chocolate, the Kosas one. The Boy Brow, I think, did it come in only one color or did I choose a color? I chose the color brown. I feel like there's a clear one. You see that that's a lot smaller of a brush. This one, the Boy Brow, does a better job of sticking the eyebrow in place. Like you can shape your eyebrow more with this Glossier Boy Brow. The Kosas Air Brow is a more natural finish. It's not as like crunchy as the Boy Brow, but it's more flexible and it doesn't have quite the hold. So I would use this one, the Boy Brow, I mean, sorry, the Kosas Air Brow more for volumizing your eyebrow, and I would use the Boy Brow more for holding your eyebrows in place. They're both really great products, and I'm glad that I listened to Tammy's recommendation and picked up the Glossier Boy Brow. This is a really good product. So it is what I have on now, and it allows me to get like sort of a precise brushing of the eyebrows and keep them in place. Then I want to give a shout out to the MAC blushes, all of them. But the powder ones, I had the Glow Play, is that what they're called? The one that's a little bit more cushiony, the Cushion Glow Play, I think they're called. I really like them, but I didn't like that because they are like a squishy, pillowy, gel-like nature that brush hairs would get caught in them. And then it looked gross. So I ended up giving those away. I had a couple of those really, well, I had three really brilliant colors. I passed them on to my daughter and her college friends, and they love them. They're getting a lot of use out of them. I have come to the conclusion that with little exception, there are some exceptions, I am a powder blush gal. So I have different formulations here and I like them all. So the new formulation is called the Skin Finish Color Struck Blush, and I have it in the color Melba. The newer formulation has the MAC logo imprinted onto it. This is a beautiful blush. I have it on now. It's very subtle looking on camera, which it always is. Like in person, it's already subtle. So then when you put on these lights, it washes it out even further. But it's just a nice little, like a wash of airbrush color that I really love. I use this and I also use Naturally Flawless. This formulation is the mineralized blush. The mineralized blush. I don't love this packaging as much, but it doesn't like bother me. Some packaging bothers me. So I mixed these two colors on my cheeks today. And it just gives like a little flush of color that is airbrushed. It's matte. There are versions of these that are more shiny and reflective in nature. I'm forgetting what the word is called now, but they have like a reflect in the formula. Those are all right too. Like if you like the Orgasm blush, that has a little bit of like sparkle in it or whatever that gives you a bit of a glowy effect. I much prefer matte blushes, particularly as an aging woman with a lot of skin texture on my cheeks and my face. I don't want to emphasize that by putting something that has a lot of reflect on it. And so I even minimize like my highlighter to just right here rather than all across my cheek because I don't want to highlight the large pores and texture issues that I have from youth. So here's an example of one that has a little bit of reflect in it. This one is called Warm Soul. So let me hold these up side by side. Warm Soul and Naturally Flawless. This one is the matte one, and this is the one that has a little bit of reflex. So you see how that comes across in the pan? So there's nothing wrong with this one. It's actually a very gentle reflect, but I just prefer the matte ones. But I like this one too. This is a beautiful color, warm soul. I'm liking these sort of peachy, earthy tones quite a lot. I like the pink colors as well, and I'll get other colors in all these formulas. And then the traditional, what I call the traditional MAC formula, this is a sheer tone blush in gingerly. I purchased this months ago, but I also love this. I mean, these are all so close in color. You don't need them all, right? But I love them all. I love them all, and I love to play with all these colors. I love to mix and match them. I will probably get more in the new formula, maybe some pinky ones, perhaps some mauvey ones, but I'm loving these like earthy, peachy kinds of natural looking colors that just look like my cheek is just a tad bit flushed. So these are just easy reach blushes is the bottom line. Okay, I have just a couple of other makeup-y products before I talk about like a body product and then two home products that I have been loving. I mentioned in a previous video that I picked up the Erica Taylor Let's Glow Duo in collaboration with Doll 10. So these I got from the Ulta website. The combination of these I think is between $70 and $80 to pick up the both. And I find that to be pricey for Doll 10, but I have loved these products. I have them both on today. This one here is an under eye, like a balm stick. So the idea is that this offers a little bit of luminosity. You see that? It's balmy, it's creamy, and it has a reflect. So you put that on under your eyes, kind of work it in, let it sit in, almost like an additional moisture step. Do your moisturizer, especially if you're my age. Do your moisturizer under your eye. Let that settle in, and then go in with a couple of swipes of that. Don't go too heavy or it'll like pill up. Just like swipe, swipe. And then also tap that in. Let it sit on your under eyes. And then go in with your concealer over this very lightly. And there's something about the reflect of this through the concealer that gives you a fairly natural look. I have it on today. I think my under eyes look as good as they're gonna look. Okay. As good as they're gonna look. It offers a little bit of hydration as well as some light reflection and overall a much more natural under eye look than when I don't have it, is my point. And so then the other product is the Fixer Elixir. It's like a primer. I would call it like a primer. So I do my regular moisturizing routine, which includes an essence, typically some kind of serum over that, and then a moisturizer over that. And then once all of that has had a chance to settle into my skin and dry down, I will take a pump or two of this, swirl it around my hands, and put it on my face. I use this in place of primer. I do have many other primers that I love, but I've been using this fairly faithfully for the past, I would say 3, maybe 4 weeks, and really enjoy that it adds both a nice layer to which my foundation sticks nicely, and it offers a little extra hydration and a little bit of blurring. It's not super blurring, but enough. So I like the way that this allows me to look natural, yet a little bit more perfected, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, like just that extra boost that you need. These two products are great. I will definitely repurchase the balm separately if I can. And if I can't, I would be happy to have both of these together. These have been really great and fun to play with. And then one final makeup related product before I go into the other couple of things. So, BK Beauty recently had like a Mother's Day sale, and the Nikki LaRose collection is hard to get separate. I didn't want the entire collection because there were items in the collection. There's two lines. She has like a Nikki LaRose, like volume one and volume two, or something like that, two different sets. I haven't liked all or needed, I think is a better way to put it, needed all of the brushes in both sets. I've kind of wanted just certain brushes. So these came back in stock and I've been dying to try them. Dying is a little extreme. Okay, I've been interested or eager in trying them. The Nikki LaRose N19, which is this triangular shaped brush, nice, densely packed. You can use it to do all of your foundation. You can use it just under your eyes. I've done that. You can use it for any number of applications. You can use it to apply primer if you want. I like it for right in here, and I like it for perfecting foundation once I've applied it, maybe with my fingers or something to go in. This does a nice job of like flattening it all out, helping it get into the skin. So it's a really nice shape and it's small enough to get into nooks and crannies if you need that. If you're somebody that powders under your eyes, I don't do that anymore, as I've mentioned, because it makes me look like the Sahara Desert. At this age of the game, nah, that ain't happening. I like moisture under my eyes. But if you like to powder, you can press under your eyes here. You can use this to apply primer on your eyeshadow area. There's lots of uses for this brush. I like that it's sleek, Like the black casing of this and the tapering is just sleek and nice, and I like that. And then the other brush from her collection is the N20, which everyone raves about. It is, I think this is called the dual fiber, or I might be making that up. So it's got this like fluffiness to it. I use this for my blush today. In fact, let's try this together so you can see what I mean. So I'm gonna go in with Melba from that new MAC formula. And I like that this has a little bit of a wispy nature if you want just a little bit of an airbrushed effect. You can see that right on screen. I mean, it just airbrushes it out. It's beautiful. It's like no nonsense application. You get pigment and you get color, but it doesn't do too much. And I really like that about this. You can use this for highlighter as well. It's one of those brushes that I probably want another one or two of, so I can use one for blush and one for highlighter and one for, I don't know, all over face powder if you want. But I love that it gives just the nicest airbrush effect without doing too much because it is not dense here at the top. It's dense at the bottom, but the top is more like fluttered or fluffied out or something. I don't know what the right terminology is to use. I've also, with my blush, been enjoying taking it in a little further. I said this in another video, but like for a while, all the rage was just to put it up here, you know? Put it up here. Maybe put a little bit on your forehead. I like to take some through my eyeshadow look just to kind of tie the two things together. But lately, I've been also just enjoying doing a little bit of this and giving color right across the middle of my face, something I never thought would look good, but it works. And I don't know, it just kind of ties it all together. And I think it's cute. Then I have a deodorant fail and favorite. The fail, I know that's not what this video is about, but I'm going to throw this away. It is the Lumi deodorant, and this is in the color Fresh Spring. And it's just the color, the scent, Fresh Spring. Did I say color? This is supposed to be 72-hour protection. Who is needing, unless you're out camping in the wild and don't have access to a shower, why do you need deodorant for 72 hours? I don't even want to ask the question. I'm just kidding. I can imagine. I can't stand this scent, but I can imagine some situations like if you're stuck traveling, like overnight at the airport. Remember that? It might be nice to have something like this on. I did have this on and it didn't do me well. This is one, y'all, no, no. I like the coconut smell from this line, but it's a strong scent and it overwhelms you. Like if you have perfume on or whatever, someone's going to smell your perfume and your coconut deodorant. I don't need that. I don't mind a light deodorant smell, but for it to be overpowering is too much. This Fresh Spring smell, even smelling it here, it just smells super chemically. I don't know how to describe it. Almost like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol mixed with a powdery smell, mixed with hairspray and like some rank chemicals. And I don't like it. And it's one that I took on my work trip. Like this would be in my work products that I took with me, just packed automatically and took with me every time. And every trip, I regretted not going back and replacing this because I put it on. It would smell weird just to start off with. And then by like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was telling all my secrets. And I didn't like it. It smelled weird. Like when I went to wash my shirts later, took them out of my suitcase and put them in with the wash, I would smell the armpits and go, oh my God, is that what people were smelling on me? And like, it's embarrassing. So that's a no. But I have replaced it with Secret. Speaking of not telling your secrets, Secret Clinical. The regular Secret doesn't work very well for me, but this is the Secret Clinical. It has hyaluronic acid. I don't know how that helps or hurts the process. I'm not like a cosmetic chemist or anything, and I have no clue, but this is in the scent Completely Clean. Now this one says it is 100 hours of invisible solid. 100 hours would be what, 4 days? Holy cow. Who needs deodorant for 4 days? Like I said, but this is a much more pleasant smell. It's almost like it smells a little like candy plus powdery deodorant. And I kind of like it. It's a really, really pleasant smell. And I found that this does keep my secrets for longer. I can wear this the whole day without worrying if my deodorant has failed. So this is getting thrown away. I'm kind of mad about this because these are really expensive deodorants. These are like $18, at least here at our Walmarts. I got this off of Amazon for like $12 or $13 or something. And I would repurchase this. So this is going in the travel kit. So then I want to tell you about two. Ooh, I almost forgot. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm looking right at the thing. It's sitting right here that I wanted to tell you all about and nearly forgot. First of all, let me give an update on the static nail polish that I mentioned in a previous video. So I am wearing this color today. It is called Baby Doll. Baby Doll. Just love these little itty bitty tiny static nail polishes. They go on very well. Sometimes you have to put 2 and 3 coats on. I mean, I always put at least 2 coats. This is 2 coats. But the most of them work just fine. They're really, really awesome little nail polishes. They last a long time. The color, if you buy the solid ones, you have to look on the website when you're ordering it. There's sheer and then there's full coverage. Get the full coverage ones if you're like me and you don't want your nail beds to show often. I mean, I have some sheer ones that are fine. But anyway, really, really loving the static nails. But the other thing I wanted to show y'all is I finally found a contraption to keep all of my nail polishes together because I had them all thrown in this like storage box that I had in my linen closet. And then I'm standing there like digging through it. And you know, they're on their sides, they're upside down. And so the little brushes on them are getting a little dried out as they come in contact in the container with air. So I got this off of Amazon. Isn't this cool? Do you have anything like this? So there are these adjustable shelves over here that I can put up and down depending on the size of the nail polish. But I can now line them all up. So I have all of my like nudie and pinky ones here on this side. And then on the other side, I have my darker, deeper fall ones, like my purple ones, my deep reds and burgundies, my blacks and grays and silvers. And it opens on both sides. I don't want to do it right now because you kind of have to lay it a little bit to make sure that, well, let's do this, that they don't fall out. But there you go. It opens like that. You get the idea. So this has helped me keep everything organized and keep the brushes inside of the actual polish itself. It has a handle on it. And so I just sit this down on the floor of my linen closet. And it's been amazing. One, for seeing what I have, because that was the other problem, right? What colors do I have? Do I need to buy any more of the same colors or whatever? I also have a set that I keep downstairs in my desk. So that's not all the nail polish that I have, but it helps me keep them organized. So I have been loving that thing. Then I have 2 home products that I can't rave enough about. The first one, I would have it on all day if I wasn't worried that having it on all day might damage it. And I don't know that it would damage it or not, but it is called the Shark Fan. I think it's like the Turboblade something or other. I'll put the name up here on the screen and a little video of how it works. This thing, we've been looking for a fan for our bedroom. Our house is a little bit older. It was built in the late 80s. Some of the rooms have overhead fans and some don't. Our bedroom does not have an overhead fan, which drives me crazy. Let me get this bronzer and stuff off of my hand, this Natasha Denona makeup. One second. So we do not have an overhead fan, and I have been just using floor fans for our room. But inevitably, the floor fans get rickety over time because we use them all night long. So I started to look for this other fan. My husband and I would go back and forth like, well, we want like an antique looking fan. We like when they're interesting and have like cool antique looking bases. And anyway, we had such a hard time finding a fan. And I came across this. I don't take credit for finding this on my own. I saw it on Charlotte Holdcroft's video where she was talking about turning it on its side. Like it has this big propeller fan blade on it. You can put the propeller straight up and down. You can put it sideways or horizontally, I mean, or you can even like tilt it sideways. You can put it stationary or you can have it oscillating. There are different speeds and there are different like fan speeds and you can position it still or you can have it oscillate. And it is amazing. This thing, the sound of it, the beautiful white noise that comes from this fan, it's just this delightful, easy hum that doesn't feel disruptive. The wind that comes off of it is, it's just dreamy. It's just dreamy. It doesn't feel like too much. When I have taken little naps in front of this fan, I don't want to get back up. There's just something like it takes you away. It's like when you put on music that's meant to relax you or like those binaural beats that kind of put you in a meditative state. This fan puts me in a meditative state. I cannot wait to get in my bed and turn this fan on and have the white noise and the delightfully cool breeze just lull me away into like a perfect sleep. I can't say enough good things about this fan. Not sponsored. Wish it was. Wish it was. And if they ever reached out for a sponsorship, have they reached out? They may have. Now that I think about it, I think Shark has reached out for a collaboration and I turned them down. How foolish of me. Months ago. Months ago. This I would do a collaboration on easily. Like, I'm very funny about what I'm willing to put sponsored video on for any of my videos because I want it to be something I love and believe in. This I love and believe in. Likewise, I needed a new air fryer. The air fryer that we had looked like a big egg and it was falling apart. First of all, anytime I used it, the smoke that came out of this thing was annoying. Like we would have to turn off our smoke alarms to accommodate the smoke that was coming out of this thing. I don't know why. And then parts of it were coming off, like the front of ours was coming off the plastic and it just started to look really janky. It was hard to wash, hard to clean. I didn't like the basket, like it had a certain kind of metallic coating that I thought was just a little iffy. So that thing went bye bye. And then I ended up purchasing, it's called the Ninja Crispy Air Fryer. There's two types. There's one where you put the top down on the container. And then there's another one that's freestanding and more expensive because it's newer. I got the more expensive, newer one. Here's the beauty of this contraption. It has got glass containers that are high heat resistant and cold resistant. So what I love about this is I can prepare the food that I want to air fry or roast directly in the container. I don't have to have a separate bowl. I don't have to go through all this madness of like spreading things out all over my kitchen before I put it in the air fryer. For example, my favorite thing to do is like chicken wings. That is air fryer 101, like the best thing to do in an air fryer, chicken wings, or any kind of meat that you want to crisp up. So, and has a skin on it. I will put the chicken wings right into the container that it's going to air fry in. There's like a grate that goes underneath, that you can put down into the air fryer container so that the juices drip down and don't, so your food doesn't get soggy. Anyway, I'll put the chicken wings in. I will season them right up in there. And then I will pop the whole thing into the air fryer, let it do its thing. I'll take directly out of the air fryer to people's plates. And when you're done, you can stick it right back in that container and into the fridge. You don't even have to let the thing cool down because the glass is tempered to withstand temperature changes. This thing is freaking amazing. It is amazing. It's got a little light on it. It's very easy to use in terms of the dials. The first air fryer we had was a bit of a nightmare to figure out, like I coordinate the kind of thing that I'm cooking with the kind of temperature I need with the number of minutes. This one just makes it so simple. It comes with two containers, the big, I think it's a 6-quart container, and then a smaller, flatter one that I think is 2 quarts. And then I went ahead and purchased a 4-quart one, I think off of Amazon. There's like a Ninja store on there, and I got it off of there. I don't have any regrets. I got mine in like a bone color, an off-white cream bone color. They have them in pink, they have them in maroon, in blue. I think there's a black and a silver one. The bone matches the marble countertops that we have in the kitchen. Love this thing. I've made a lot of good things in it so far and will continue. You can roast a whole chicken in this sucker. A whole chicken, and I love it. It's great. Highly advised to get that if you're in the market for a new air fryer and you're looking for something versatile and easy to clean. That is a big thing for me. The old air fryer was just such a pain to clean. One more thing I wanted to share, cozycook.com. Again, not sponsored. Not that it has to be for me to put it in a video, and I hate that I even have to say that to people, but I like cozycook.com. There've been a lot of great recipes that I've gotten off of there, and I've printed a lot of good recipes off of there. You can't go wrong with anything on there. I've tried the chicken dumplings, amazing recipe. The Mongolian beef is a huge hit in this house. The garlic parmesan pork chops, the chicken piccata. There's just a ton of really amazing recipes they take time to make, but they're easy to make. They're not complicated recipes, but they are time consuming. Many of them are. I just go straight to the dinner recipes. I haven't done any of the desserts or salads or anything like that. I've done the stews and I've done the dinner recipes, and amazing. I probably have like 20 to 30 recipes that I'm rotating through off of there. Really, really good stuff. The beef lo mein. I think I got a pad thai recipe off of there. If I didn't, I got it from somewhere else and I'll link it below. We had pad thai last night that I made from scratch. So good. It is a hit in this house and people keep asking for me to make it over and over again. All right, that is it for the recent favorites. I hope you enjoyed. Where I can, I will link things below if you're interested in checking them out. And if you use those links, I appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video. Y'all take care.